G'day Hexes, Havoc here, and today I'm going to bring you some my tentative top 10 commons list. Now the reason that it's tentative is the fact that, I've just had a quick look at the commons. I've potentially missed a few that are good, that should be on this list, and also once I get a handle on the set, get to use it, it's very likely that through playing I'll find some stuff that actually is better than I think it will be, as there are several things that I'm still a bit uncertain about at the time being. But so I've picked out my top 10 at the moment based on my initial impressions. So we're going to be looking, and also it does go a bit towards my playstyle, which is, especially in the limited environment, you want to be, in my opinion, as aggressive as possible. And also you want to get the most value out of your cards, things like 2-for-1s and all that sort of good stuff. So anyway, let's get into the list. Again, this will be changing in the future, so you can maybe check out an unupdated list in the future at some point. But let's get into this one, so enjoy. We're going to start off with this very, very sexy Ruby card here. It is a 2-cost, 2-1, called the Acolyte of Flame. Now, very nice artwork, very cute little candle guy there. But the standout thing about this card is that, it's an aggressive card because it's a 2-cost 2-1, so that's, it's perfectly fine. But then you're getting the Illuminate one, so if you're casting this on 2, potentially you're going to be able to make yourself a 2-2 candle if you've already played one on turn 1 through something like the Votives, which obviously in a limited environment is probably not going to happen, but either way you're going to get on turn 2 a 2-1 and a 1-1, so that's very good value. You're getting 2 bods, 2 hot bods in this case. Alright, so the other great thing about this is that, with the case with most aggressive troops, the downside is that in a late game, you're gonna, if you drew a 2-1 for example, and it's not gonna do that much, right? In a late game scenario, in most cases, it's not gonna get past the bigger stuff. However, with this card, thanks to the fact that it's Illuminate that you've got as the bonus effect there, if you got a lot of synergy with Illuminate in your deck and you've already got a bunch of candles, maybe you're using the champion power to give candles as well, you might end up using this as a great buffer in the late game to buff up your existing candles, to really give you a powerful swing. So very nice, it's one of my favorite cards, the first one that I have on the list here. Now there is no particular order to this list, I'll add, but this one I did feel like I should put first. So that is the first one, not much else to say there. Let's move on. Don't want to make this video too long. We'll try speed through this. So let's go on to the next one here, which is another good one, another very aggressive troop. This is called the Aqua Manor, another 2-cost 2-1. Now this is the one that you can potentially get all the bods. So not just you obviously start off with just the one troop, but every time you play an elemental, you will then get another copy of this and put it into your hand. So if you do manage to draft several of these, which I tell you now, they're going to be hotly contested. Very hotly contested. If you manage to get a bunch of them, you can just keep, and if you get more elemental synergy, I mean, there's lots of, you can just get all the bodies, just keep them going. It's pretty damn nice. But then you've also got the added benefit of it being fantastic with reversion. So if you are to get the effect, get the one shot to trigger, and then you revert the troop, you can then get that effect back again. So you play another elemental, maybe you play the one you just gained, and get another one again, and you just keep it going. So, pretty good stuff. So yeah, that's about it covering that one. Let's move on. Up next we have another aggressive troop. It is another 2-1, and again for 2. So again, you can see my playstyle here. It's aggression, let's go, beat him up. So the good thing about this one, it's again a 2-for-1. When it dies, it will summon a zombie. So you get a 2-2. So you get a 2-1. When you trade it off early, it'll then give you a 2-2. So very nice value there. But then you've got the added benefit of there being lots of synergy with Deathcry. You've got troops that can, when they're deployed, you can trigger a target troop's Deathcry. You've got champion powers that can get back troops with Deathcry, and that zombie, for example, to get another, so you can do that. Then you've also got the new removal card in Dead of Winter, which is basically you kill a troop and trigger all your troops that have Deathcry that are on the board. So pretty damn nice. Lots of ways. There's many more than that, but so that's why that one's on the list. Let's keep going. It's exciting stuff, this set. So here's a very super aggressive card in my opinion. So it's not giving you a 2-for-1 like the previous cards. You're not getting multiple bodies here and there, but it's very, very aggressively costed. So it's a 2-cost 1-3. However, the kicker here is that it's when it attacks, you bury 2 cards, and each opposing champion from each opposing champion. So then for each troop that's buried, it gets +1 damage. I can almost guarantee you in most scenarios, attack twice with this, you've probably buffed it up to a 3/3. And if not more, in a limited environment, you're gonna obviously hit some shards. You're gonna hit a lot of troops though as well. As in a limited environment, most decks, most of the things that you have in your deck, you're gonna have 14, maybe more troops, depending on your deck. So you're gonna hit a lot of troops in a limited environment. So this card is very nice. I would not be surprised if you attacked with it first swing, you get a 2/3. Maybe even if you're super lucky, you get a 3/3. But first swing, you're probably gonna get a 2/3 in a lot of cases. But then the fact that it just gets bigger and it's got that 3 defense makes this a very aggressive and nice card. But then you've got that obviously added benefit of you get to mill. So if you are a mill deck, that's an added synergy. But you also get to mess with Fate Weave, which is also pretty good. So yeah, let's move on. That artwork is oh boy, super freaky. Let's move on. All right, so this is actually a ramp card I really like. So in the previous set we had Runic Growth, which I don't think I've ever used. Maybe once or twice here and there. Wasn't really a fan of it. But this one I am. So this one has a lot going for it. Now the fact with this one is that you get a wild shard from your deck and it plays it, so that's great. So you play this on, say, turn 3 if you're lucky. Play it on 3, you then instantly get another resource into play that turn, so therefore you've gained 2 charges in that turn, and then you're getting another wild shard from your deck and put it into your hand. So you've thinned your deck twice there, while also gaining the charges. So Runic Growth from the previous set, all it did was give you permanent resources, and then once you draw another shard, so you had to draw another shard to get the Runic again, so you're not getting that double ramp. As in the case with this, you're ensuring you're getting that shard for the next turn to play because it goes in your hand. So then you're also getting the charges, which gives you quicker to something like Farico as an example. But so yeah, just really nice ramp. Really like this one. And who doesn't love the card here, Palm of Granite? Like, I wonder who thought that one up, but you're pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. So really nice ramp there. Let's go to the next. So next one we got here is Lixel's Hotseeker. This is another 2-for-1 with an evasive threat. Now, it's you do have to pay a charge. That the little 1 in the square there does mean you have to pay a charge, and you get a Phantom. So now it's good. Losing a charge is it's kind of depending on the champion power you're using. So that's why I've put here that it is perfect with the champion Frostshaper Gorkrog, which is a new champion within Dead of Winter. And that's basically whenever you play a necrotic, you gain a charge. So you're not, in this case, you're just not going to get that one benefit for playing this troop. You're going to lose that. You're going to gain the charge and lose the charge because you're obviously going to pay for that free Phantom. So pretty nice, and obviously great if your opponent bounces this, you can get more Phantoms. So pretty nice. I like this one. So yeah, let's keep going. Next up, we got something that's pretty nice here. Now it's the first 5-cost card here. Again, I like to be aggressive, but this one stands out from some of the high-cost cards as, not only is its stats pretty decent, 3/5 for 5, pretty much, just going to give you some good defense in most cases, but it has fantastic synergy with Swamp Butt, which is the champion that puts 4 0-cost actions into your deck that all have card draw. They all do 1 damage to target troop or champion, so if you have this on the board and you start drawing, if you've got the synergy going with something like Swamp Butt, you play out this and then just start playing those 0-cost actions for 3 damage to the face. So pretty damn sexy stuff there. And I expect to see this being played quite a lot in Swamp Butt decks. So if you do see someone playing Swamp Butt, expect to see this troop come down at some point in the game. So yeah, let's move on. Next up, we got Swooping Rabbit, the first entity here in my list. And the main reason for this one being on my list here is it's a 3/3 flyer for 5, which is pretty good. And you're getting a 2-for-1 again. So again, you can obviously see here I love all the value cards, and obviously that's what you really should be going for, trying to get the value. There's plenty of really good removal. I haven't actually included any of the removal in my list here. There is plenty of good removal in the set, but a lot of it, there's no something like Runic Decay within the set, which is one of my top commons from Frostheart, due to the fact that it was a 2-for-1 that also gains you health. So that was really good. So I haven't included any removal. There is a bunch of really good ones, but I've just gone for all the value cards. So this is another one of those. It's another evasive trip. You get that portal. So good stuff there once again. But let's go move on here. So we got another 5-drop. So I guess that's 3 5-drops in a row. So there are some obviously higher costed stuff in my list. But this one, wait, what? If I stuffed up the text there. It should say Wild Knight. Silly Havoc. So, obviously this is the Wild Knight, not Palm of Granite. I was reusing a slide. So, didn't change the text. This, so the good thing about this here, it's, you know, it's a 5/4 for 5. Sadly no crush, but the good thing about it is the fact that you can revert a target troop, and you can then make it into something better, potentially. You get to increase the cost of that card, get something random. Now, the good thing about that is you can, because it reverts, you might have something that's been crippled, or, you know, some sort of negative effect done to a troop that you've got, and then you can get rid of that negative effect and then turn it back into something else, potentially better, potentially worse, but at least it's going to reactivate a troop. You can also use it with temporary troops, things that are maybe spawned by a charge power that's going to die at the end of turn, or, you know, dreadlings, things like that, if you just want to gain more bodies on the board. So pretty nice. This dude is also drink driving. It's pretty inappropriate, but I do love this art style. We've seen it on quite a few cards now, this style of art. I'll tell you one thing about this art. If all the cards in Hex were done with this art style, I would freaking love it. It's that good. So I think we're coming to the end of the list here. Let's move on to the last one. So honestly, there was many different cards I could have put here at the last slot here. But I just picked this guy because whatever. I mean, it's just it's another 2 cost 2/2, so pretty good aggressive card. But I think there is going to probably be enough constants floating around within limited that you'll get a good payoff with this by being able to void a constant. So I think it'll be pretty decent. But yeah, you know, there is a reason why this list is tentative. I think this will probably leave this list most likely at some point, and we'll update it in the future. But I think that pretty much covers the top 10 there. So yeah, let me know what you think. You know, what if of my list, what you would maybe change. You know, there's probably, you know, I tried to look at all the cards. I did a quick looking through, you know, looking on Hex TCG browser, so I probably did, you know, miss a few here and there that I, you know, just didn't look at properly. But yeah, let me know what cards I potentially missed. Feel free to leave any other comments, and take care, and I hope you enjoyed. But that pretty much wraps it up. So I will probably do the next video will probably be the top 10 uncommons, and then I'll probably look at rares and legendaries as well after that. But yeah, thank you for watching, and take care. Keep flubing!